Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. Fandom, fun, funny.
Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast.
Well, hello there. It is KJ, your head kind of nerdy girl, and I'm excited about this episode. Going to get to some headlines of the kind of nerdy things that have been happening. You're going to hear from the Kind of Nerdy Network in this episode. So this is our group on Facebook. We're about 1,100 members, and on Friday nights we get together live in the group. We set up a Zoom so we can see each other, and it's kind of our little social time of the week. So we're going to be talking about Supernatural, and then we also always have a topic. Ooh, yes, a topic. And I want to say thank you to Michelle Hamilton, who is a founding member of the Kind of Nerdy Network and our executive lore keeper. She keeps me organized and always comes up with a great homework topic. And this week, I thought it was something that we definitely could all use right now, which is our comfort show or movie. Think about that. What is that show, series, movie that when everything is just chaotic and you gotta escape and you need some place to go, you go there. We're going to get some answers from some of the amazing people that joined us this past Friday night. And also, I want to let you know, I'm so excited about this. Loot Crate is now a partner with the Kind of Nerdy Girls. If you don't know what Loot Crate is, it's basically a Comic-Con in a box. And if you are craving the Comic-Cons like I am, having withdrawal, why not have a Comic-Con in a box arrive every month to your house with surprises? If you go to the Kind of Nerdy Network, you will see my link. There's going to be a Black Friday special coming up, and it's a great gift too. So if you're trying to think of what do I give my friends, my family that I'm not going to see this weekend or Thanksgiving or Christmas, or, I don't know, ever again. What can I give them that they would get so excited about? Loot Crate is definitely the thing if you are a nerd or a kind of nerdy girl or dude like we are. All right, here we go. Thank you so much for joining us, and I would love to hear from you on your comfort movies, comfort TV shows. And if you're in the Kind of Nerdy Network, it's great because I see the comments come in. So you could always, while you're listening along, have the Kind of Nerdy Network Facebook group pulled up and say, hey, KJ, you were stupid and said things wrong. Or, hey, KJ, this is my favorite comic book hero. I love to hear from you. This is all about creating community and having a good time. So enough with me. Let's get into the fun from this past Kind of Nerdy Night In. I saw headlines from the Kind of Nerdy Network, made me giggle. Starlord has been confirmed to be in Thor 4. If we want to talk about that, Starlord is always a hot topic for our group. Umbrella Academy is getting another season. So super.
A fourth season?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
They already announced it, man. It's happening.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I was really excited this week, and I saw several people post about the Buffy conversations that we're having this week because of Senator Abrams talking on Twitter about how she's a Buffy fan. And it wasn't political at all, which I think was what was really cool, is that we had this senator that was trending because of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm like, well, that's weird. I need to click on that. And then that got lots of the Buffy cast in this whole conversation about Angel or Spike and who Buffy should have ended up with. So that's the kind of politics I want to talk about. Let's begin just kind of by going around and chatting with everyone about their week. We like to check in, see what you've been doing that's kind of nerdy, and also if you have any good news or big things that happened in your life. We like to celebrate all of that because at the end of the day, the Kind of Nerdy Network is a community, and we're all here to celebrate each other's wins and to support each other during weeks when we don't have wins. All right. Well, we're getting a big group here. I want to welcome real quick as we go around. Yes. So Kip is a very good friend of ours. For those of you who have attended kind of nerdy night out events at Studio Movie Grill, honest, it was Kip who actually helped us get that going. He's the founder of the kind of nerdy night out, and he was our bartender for many movies. I'm pretty sure he's the reason that I thought Aquaman was good. So, the drinks were a little strong that night. But actually, Kip, I shared a little kind of nerdy news for you. Did you see the announcement? One of Kip's nerdy things is Metallica. Did you see the announcement about their live streaming concert they're doing?
I did see it, yeah. And I'm actually anxious to follow up on it. But this is my first time being on here, so I was like, well, before I get my hair cut, I want to see my two favorite friends and see what this is all about.
Well, this is it. This is the crew, and everybody is so nice if you noticed right away.
I want to hear about the Metallica live stream. What is that?
Oh, yes.
So get this. The reason that I found out about this, and it's so nerdy. I don't know if he was paid or if he's just a big fan, but Robert Downey Jr. announced it on his page.
Amazing news to share.
Yeah.
Attention, music lovers, you ready? God, I'm psyched. Metallica is hosting this incredible event this Saturday, November 14th at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It can be enjoyed from home, which means you can attend. It is going to be a worldwide live stream, super rare acoustic set. It is all for charity. It's for communities in need. Hashtag Helping Hands 2020 benefits the Bands Foundation, all within my hands. And then they disperse said monies to communities in need. Entry ticket price is $15. This is nothing. I'll be there. I won't be square. Metallica forever. Let's do this.
So 11 a.m. tomorrow morning.
No, he said
We
2
said
p.m.
Pacific.
Pacific, which would be 5
11
o'clock.
a.m.
5 o'clock.
Sorry, math. Whatever.
What have we told you about doing math, Clay?
Yeah, sorry.
We got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow around that time then.
We do.
Good Lord.
We're going to do another movie night with our nephews and our nieces. It's actually my sister and her boyfriend's weekend to have the girls. So we've got 5 kids coming over, and they're currently, you know what, Clay? We're taking your idea, because when I was talking with my sister about picking a movie, it was easy on a Halloween weekend because we were like, well, we're going to watch A Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and,
And Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Right.
So she was like, I said, you guys talk about it, whatever you want to watch. And she was like, I don't know how we're going to get everybody to, agree. And I was like,
break out the hat.
Let me tell you, you need to get a hat.
Right.
That's
and
right.
they get to put all the movies that they might want in the hat. And then nobody gets mad, because when you draw it out, there's a chance that next time it might be your movie.
Yep.
Right. And it's, I can't tell you how many times, like, it has been said by my own kids, like, the hat has spoken. Like, that's the movie that was drawn. So we're all good.
Awesome.
Right?
The hat has spoken.
We instituted a process like that. You know how when you have a group of people who want to go to lunch and nobody wants to decide where to go, and everybody's like, I don't know, you decide. I finally just said, you know what, we're going to do the hat thing. And we literally put all the names of the places that we went to in the hat, and we would draw out, and it works because then nobody can complain about it.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
When I worked for Thompson, we actually created an application that was like a Wheel of Fortune, and we put all the restaurants on it.
Oh,
and then we just click spin, and it would just spin, and then it would stop, and we're like, well, that's where we're eating.
Same idea. Same idea.
We need to do that.
that
for
would
dinner.
work great for us.
We are the worst. And both of us always start out, we think we're being coy and clever, because you pick, like, I'm going to give you 3.
And you pick one.
Yeah. And it's like, well, no, I picked last night. Ugh, it's so dumb.
You always wind up at White Castle.
A funny thing about White Castle, my stepdad taught Eileen how to say White Castle in French. And so she'll go around saying, Chateau Blanc. Chateau Blanc.
Fancies it up a little.
That's sounds so much nicer. Like I'm going to get out my china and my
Right?
RJ.
Paired with a Mountain Dew.
Okay, Mary, can we check in with you to see you got any happy stuff going on to report? How are you feeling? Any nerdy stuff to report?
Well, I'm off work now for 2 weeks.
You are.
I got new glasses because apparently that is supposed to be a cure-all for migraines. I don't know if you can see them, but I got them in the children's section.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Sparkly. Look at that.
Sparkly.
Yeah.
Is that your child, Mary?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forget that you can hear him.
No,
It's white noise for you. You're just like, oh yeah, he's just talking, but I'm having a conversation.
That's yes, he's singing Thriller, but you can't tell.
Yeah.
Stop, see.
Oh, I hear it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are recording for the podcast tonight, and Mary, that is a highlight that's definitely going in. I love it. I want to talk to Donna. Donna hasn't been with us for a while.
I'm dying over here.
I know. And we've got a pretty good crew here as far as representation for Supernatural. So did you just watch the episode with Castiel today?
I need to know how much I can spoil. I'm caught up.
Okay.
So I watched the episode that was on last night today too.
All right, we did not get that far.
We have not made it that.
I won't say a word except the episode with Cass. Can I talk about that, or do I have to be?
I think you can talk about it. You mentioned, him talking to Dean as a turning point.
Yeah.
I think you can talk about that without spoiling anything.
Well, I just was on my treadmill because I was watching it, trying to get my steps, and I was just bawling. Yeah. And I'm like, I need to talk to somebody. So I messaged you.
I know, and I felt so bad because I could not message you back because I was today, not to go back to Make-A-Wish, but today was my presentation for the social media influencers kickoff. So I was like, oh my God, I know, Donna, I know, and I can't talk to you right now.
And I was trying to word it where it wasn't like too spoilery. Yeah. And I wrote it like 4 times. Like, how do I say this without saying this? So.
Yes. No, you did great. And I think, no matter where anybody is with Supernatural right now, knowing that these are the last few episodes, you have to know that there are these meaningful conversations that are rip your heart out,
Yeah.
Sarah Weil, do you have anything to add in to the conversation as far as where we're at with Supernatural?
They should have done episode 18 as 19.
Really?
I agree on that one.
I kind of could have done without last night, which is horrible to say, but
I didn't care for that episode.
The episode last night felt like the end.
Yeah.
And there's another 2 hours next week.
Well, they said that the episode before the last one was a season end. It felt like a season ender, and then the last episode feels like a complete everything all in a tight little bow.
And let me ask, because Sarah Wild, you know more about the behind the scenes, the writing and all of that stuff. Is it possible that it's not flowing quite right because they changed how it was going to end?
Yes. Last night's episode and then next week's were the 2 that were filmed after all this after COVID.
I was wondering.
So they did have to change a few things because apparently there were supposed to be other things that never happened. But you can tell, even at the end, from the distances and what they did weren't really what you would think they were going to do. So you can kind of tell the difference in the filming that way.
Well, you know what? Okay, to be optimistic about this, I would say they got it done, right? So they got it done, and that's great, and everybody was safe. But this means that at some point, we're going to get the Kripke cut, right? Like the way that they wanted it to end.
Take it easy,
I hope so.
Take it easy, Zack Snyder, okay? Hold on.
Well, I loved the episode that was on last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't.
you can pump your brakes because I think Zack Snyder has already proven to the world that he's going to screw it up enough by doing alternate cuts. Chill.
The guy who plays Sam, didn't he say that Dean like sent him a text message after he just got moved back out and said, we can do a couple more episodes. I'm okay with it.
I feel like there's going to be something. Like there's going to be movie.
For sure. Oh yeah,
something.
they've already been like talked. Like they want to come back for a special, or if they want to come back for like a 2 TV film type movie.
Sweet
Supernatural Christmas special.
Oh, dude, if they did yearly Christmas specials, that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Oh my God, yes.
Donna, did you have something else to add? Or are you?
No, I'm good.
Okay, you feel better now?
Yeah, I just needed to talk it out. It was hard to be here by myself on my treadmill with no one to cry with me. I was texting my best friend who's a big Buffy fan, and I'm like, why don't you watch this show so you could be crying with me?
You know what? Well, it's so funny that you say that, because I was going to tell you, Donna, that I have cried on my treadmill.
Yes.
Every single rewatch of Buffy that I can get through, like her mom dying and all that stuff now, but the last episode, I'm just so proud of her. And I'm like, every time I'm like, I'm on the treadmill and I'm not going to cry. I can watch this and I'm not going to cry. And I just blubber
Nope,
off.
there it is.
There it is. Cry again.
And I would like to say, on the subject of Buffy, Jesse, I want to commend you on your background for the library at Sunnydale High. That is fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's go to Jesse then and chit chat about your week. Anything happy going on? Anything kind of nerdy going on?
I don't know that there's anything kind of nerdy other than I'm listening to Lucifer while I'm grading papers and planning lessons, which oddly has not conflicted.
I don't know. I would be like, this paper's terrible. You go right to hell. What prompted the Buffy background tonight?
There was the post in the Kind of Nerdy Network with Allison Hannigan saying who Buffy should have ended up with. And that kind of made me start thinking about reminiscing.
I don't think you weren't here at the beginning. That was one of the things that I brought up. And I said earlier, like, I don't care what your politics are, but we had a senator who was using her Twitter feed this week to talk about whether Buffy should have ended up with Spike or Angel. And I'm like, this is politics, people. Buffy's going to bring us all together. If we want to save this country, we need Buffy. It was funny to see that conversation unfold and then see Allison Hannigan jump back in. And a lot more people are Team Spike than I expected. So I
was kind of shocked.
I never really settled. I think, you know what, similar to Senator.
I think she
nailed it.
Yeah, this is the best I've ever heard.
So she said...
She worded it just beautifully.
Yeah, she was like...
But to paraphrase...
Angel was the right man for Buffy when she was discovering her powers. And Spike,
I did see that.
And Spike was the right man for Buffy when
she became the power.
And I was like, yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Erina and Paul, like before Erina falls asleep on us, got anything to report?
Yeah, we're watching Mandalorian as it comes out each week. Not soon enough, but that's me.
Yeah,
enjoying that.
Yeah, I know. I need to catch up on that too.
Can we?
No. Bugs, no.
Okay. Now, the reason I want to talk about the bugs is because there was a moment, and we have last week recorded, I will find it, when we were talking about The Mandalorian, and Clay was making this weird face, like he was really happy about something, and I couldn't quite, I was like, I don't know what Clay's doing. And so when we were watching it, and I'm like, oh, the entire time. And
Yep, that's why I was smiling. That was it.
I was like, I mean, like, there literally was a moment where I was like, frickin' Clay. Like, he could have won. This is why he was smiling.
Can I do an impression of Erina when we saw them happen? Hold on, I got to get away from the mic because it's so loud.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh God! Why? And then she was like, too much better to scream.
Yeah, I was cursing a lot, and a lot of it was directed at Clay.
See, Clay, it wasn't just KJ you were affecting. It was me too.
Look at what you did to Erina. What is she?
I'm sorry, Aaron. I should have warned you.
Right.
Just me, not
Just
KJ.
you.
Just
Yeah, but I want to be clear about that.
Well, let's turn it over to Michelle to kick off our homework, our topic.
Ooh, the topic.
So this week it was, what is your go-to comfort nerdy TV show, movie, whatever your go-to is, like if you're feeling down.
Mary, did you have a chance to think about the homework this week?
I watch Bob Ross every day.
I love
that's
Bob
great.
Ross. Yes,
Great. I tell my son that we cannot go outside until after Bob Ross is on. He asks at least 65,000 times. And I have to tell him to please shut up. Bob Ross is talking to me, and he soothes my soul.
Yes,
Did you happen to know that Bob Ross filmed his show about 12 miles from my house over in Muncie, and they have that studio, they have an exhibit at the Minnetrista.
Oh, and I see in the chat, Paul said he lived across the street from it in college. That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
I have to ask Sarah Wild, does Canada know Bob Ross?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right.
Mhm. Yay.
Paul, I just saw your message about how cool is it that Deadpool did the trailer for the movie as Bob Ross. That was fantastic.
Oh my God.
Patches actually got the Funko Pop, the Deadpool is Bob Ross for his birthday.
I'm jealous.
I was jealous too. I was like, why didn't I get this for my birthday?
Cooler than you.
Well, you are pretty cool.
I'll get you a Yoda spider for your birthday.
Your birthday's coming up, and
Right
I'm going to
then.
get you a bag of poop. Jesse, your comfort show and or movie.
First was thinking something like Buffy, but I really think it's really more. Has anybody ever watched Drop Dead Diva?
I have not.
Yes. Okay, tell me, Jesse, about Drop Dead Diva. Is it reality?
No.
Okay.
It's a realistic fiction. The premise is a beautiful model dies and her soul is placed inside a plus-size lawyer. And so this new lawyer, Jane, is trying to come to terms with who am I? And so, of course, there's relationship drama and things, but it's her coming to terms with who am I in this new body.
Right.
Which sounds a whole lot deeper than it really is, but it's just good fun.
It sounds like something I should have been watching. Well, Bonnie, are you prepared with your homework? Do you have your comfort show or movie ready?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. It's Friends. 100%
Nice.
Friends. All, happy, sad, any mood moment in my life.
Yeah.
Always covered.
All right, Paul.
This was tough for me. Aaron and I were talking about it earlier, but I think really it comes down to kind of an era of movies for me in the 80s. So there's kind of three that came to mind immediately. Goonies. That's one that just always reminds me of a happy time when I was a kid, and it was just magical to see that adventure, right?
Right.
And then the first Short Circuit, because that was just kooky and weird and funny.
Johnny Five.
Hey,
Yep,
Laser
and-
Lips, yo mama was a snowblower.
Exactly. And then honorable mention for Harry and the Hendersons, because
Oh my God,
just
yes.
a classic.
Wow.
Yep.
John Lithgow. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Todd, what's yours?
I have two movies. One of them, of course, is Galaxy Quest. I can watch that one over and over again and get lost in it. The other one around the holidays is While You Were Sleeping. I don't know why I like that movie. I just do.
That's a great movie, but I wouldn't see it as being like your movie.
I know. I have some weird ones. And then my TV thing that I always go to if I'm in a down mood and I want to cheer up is I always pull up Animaniacs.
Have you seen they're coming out with a new?
Yes, and I'm all excited about it. I'm ready for it.
All right, Colleen, what you got?
The Princess Bride. Series-wise, it would probably be something, it would either be Buffy or X-Files, because I felt like it was family to me. Buffy in particular.
Yeah.
It felt like family. And when the series ended, it was like I lost my family. They were gone, and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It was like,
That's why I
where did
cry
they
on
go?
the treadmill. Like, I was like, I miss you guys so much.
I know. It's like, how do I get you back?
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I will tell you, Colleen, that like that as an adult, I didn't start watching that until I was in my early to mid 20s with KJ. And as an adult, that show was the first thing that ever taught me that your family is who you choose.
Exactly.
Not, and that
Yes.
that was like one of the biggest things.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, that's a great pick for a show.
All right, Nikki, you're up.
As far as TV is concerned, it would either be Golden Girls or Next Generation.
Is Next Generation your favorite?
It is, because it was out when I was going through, high school, when all of your nerd tendencies are wrapped deep into your soul.
Michelle.
It would be probably the Harry Potters. I could watch them every day, 7 days a week, I think. So
I watched The Order of the Phoenix this afternoon.
Yeah, I actually came home from the office and I was like, damn.
She must have had a day.
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Donna.
My TV show, it bounces between Gilmore Girls and The West Wing.
I didn't watch The West Wing.
If you decide to watch The West Wing, there's a podcast that goes along with it.
Okay.
Called West Wing Weekly. You watch an episode and then you listen to the podcast, and it's with one of the stars of The West Wing.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's really cool.
Super fun.
Katie, you're up.
When I was younger, I loved Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood because of the fact that I was bullied a lot when I was younger, and he just made me feel so much better.
Very nice. Clay, did you get to go?
So my comfort is the last episode of Mandalorian where the spiders came out.
Shut
up!
Awesome.
I hate you, Clay. Clay, do you actually have an answer now that you're done being funny, man?
I do.
Okay.
I do. The very beginning of Fellowship of the Ring, like where they just are in the Shire, like that is if I'm stressed or need to just unplug my brain, that's where I go.
Because that scene lasts like 2 hours, right?
Exactly, and it's wonderful.
I would say, I had to think about this because I think I have different comfort shows, and sometimes I take a while away from them and then revisit them. Like right now I'm revisiting Buffy because I haven't watched it for a while, and so it does have that I remember how this felt moment. But Doctor Who is always my go-to. I'll turn it on and I don't even need to have my eyes open. Like it's almost I just need to listen to it.
Your brain goes on autoplay, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's filling in blanks. Somebody I thought put it really well, and I thought that it went with the discussion that we're having tonight. And they said that revisiting a TV show or a movie like that is like going back to your childhood room and nothing has changed. Like, there's that comfort of walking into something familiar and warm and inviting, and it's just how you expect it.
That is an excellent point. Yeah.
And then movies, I mean, it's either Star Wars or Harry Potter or Marvel. I mean, I don't really have one particular. Sometimes we just sit down and it's like, let's not watch something new. Let's go back to something. And so then it's usually
I would say about 60-70% of the time when we talk it out, especially on Marvel for some reason here recently, like we have both thought about the same movie throughout the course of the day. Last week it was Captain Marvel.
Babe.
I know. Yes. So the one thing I go to my happy place, I will rewatch our wedding video. No, I don't.
No, he does not.
No, I don't. Honestly, I mean, I'm with her. TV shows, normally Doctor Who, but believe it or not, for me, it's Sherlock because my mind races all the time. So when I need to relax and just do something happy, I go to Sherlock because it's like I let him do all my thinking for me and I can just turn my brain off. And then for movies, I think more often than not, I will go back to Star Wars. And I know like I have a limited time as far as how much I'm going to be awake. So I skip to the scene right before Han Solo and Chewbacca step back on to the Falcon and go, Chewie, we're home.
I would like to ask the group, does anyone else go to, like, do you have a movie that you'll go to a specific scene and just kind of watch that scene? Like if you get an earworm or a music, stuck in your head, I find that I do that with movies and I have to go watch that scene
Yes. Oh
to
yeah.
exercise that from my head.
Absolutely.
I got to tell you guys, that sounds really stressful to me.
Yeah, no, see, I
and
do it
people who
often.
tell me like they're watching a movie in like bits and pieces, like I'm in the middle of watching it. I watched like 20 minutes today, and then I'll watch 20 more minutes tomorrow. And I'm like, what are you doing? All right, let's get to Bonnie's Hallmark update.
And before you say anything, Bonnie, because I know
wonder.
Hallmark
Yeah.
revolves around Christmas 99% of the time. We're not putting our Christmas tree up.
We might not be, but I might.
I'm doing
Well-
it. I'm doing it this week.
I can get a tree for the front room.
What's the tree that you put up for the July thing?
That's
Just
a
a
smaller
little
tree.
6-foot tree.
Well, then let her put up the little 6-foot one, and that'll suffice you for now.
Yep.
No.
I don't like it when mom and dad fight about Christmas.
It's okay. It's okay.
There's no magic.
Hey, to my defense, last year I surprised you and had the tree up and everything because you had a shit time, and I put it up like the week before Thanksgiving.
I've had a shit time all year.
I know.
It's been a
We all have.
Why are you taking away from Bonnie's time and making this about you?
Sorry. My bad, Bonnie.
That is not what Hallmark movies are about.
That's right.
I'm the antagonist of the Hallmark movie, yes.
Okay, so the actress that I was trying to do a nerdy tie-in with that's in the movie is Erin Cahill. She was in Power Rangers Time Force. Her character name was Jen Scott.
And what's the movie again?
A Timeless Christmas. So it's like a time travel one. So that's kind of a nerdy thing too.
So I did call my shot. It was a Christmas movie.
Yes, it's the time of year.
I mean, that's not calling your shot. It's the Hallmark Network. I mean, come on.
Vegas is giving you no money.
Yeah, right. That's a push, man. Come on.
I can't wait for you to edit this into a podcast.
No, your punishment for this Christmas tree bullshit is you edit this now.
Wait, if that's it now. If I edit this, I get to put the tree up now.
Oh God.
No.
You guys heard it.
Okay, all I'm going to say about all this
witnesses to
is the way you two are going back and forth. I am so glad I'm single.
Yeah, well, as far as Christmas goes, I'll make you a deal.
You already made me a deal. My punishment is I edit this podcast and I put up a tree.
She's like, yee.
I'm going to hate my life.
I keep negotiating with yourself. I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, no.